No new Batman game in 2025? That's bananas. Know what else is? Donkey Kong Bananza.
The fact that you just shit that out, actually pretty impressive. Really.
Oh my god. Okay. God bless.
I have not been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. I watched Kurt play some at the office, but other than that,
is this have you played it? Is this completed? Is it going to be like a skill up review?
Yeah. I'm going to review it. I'm just about to finish it, actually. I'm up to like the last or maybe second last biome area. I am absolutely loving this video game. It is so good. I really enjoyed the preview because I was like, okay, cool. This is fun. I like its gimmick, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously it wasn't a gimmick because it was like, it's a very central mechanic. But, you know, I was also like, is this going to be a bit too crazy? Because you spend so much time just punching and destroying and everything is, you know, I'm like, and can you really develop interesting platform style challenges if I can just drill a hole through the middle of the level? Like, how do you do that, right? And so I did have those concerns. I was like, okay, I'm having fun with this now, but can I have fun with this for 20 hours? You know, this mechanic is really fun to engage with for a preview, but is it actually going to be kind of game breaking as you get 20 hours deep? Totally. The answer to those questions is absolutely it stays fun, and the mechanic only deepens and becomes more interesting and more rewarding the more time you spend with it. Like this is definitely an all-timer for Nintendo, for sure. It really is.
All-timer.
Yeah, it really is, man. Like I really believe that what they have done here with this destruction model, with the amount of creativity they have crammed into this package, with how inventive it is, with its weird soundtrack that's so weird. Until you experience the soundtrack for yourself, you're not going to quite get it. And at first you're going to be like, what is this? But the more time you spend with it, it just has this very confident quality where it's like, it's not trying to ape the previous soundtracks, but it's trying to do its own thing that's cool and great. And there's a story in there as well, which I really wasn't expecting. And it's not exactly like, it's not fucking whatever. It's not anything, too crazy.
Donkey Kong grapples with his past trauma.
That's right.
Donkey Kong grapples with this relationship.
But it is really, really, it's still fun and nice. And, you know, Pauline is really cool and sweet. And
I want to ask about Pauline because Kurt at work was saying that Pauline's quite irritating. Because
that's weird.
She calls out, he thinks that she calls out a bit too much, but like in particular, like, there's a banana, another banana.
No, I don't agree with that. It's literally the only time she will ever say that is when you are like 6 feet from a banana, right? It's not like you're at the other side of a level and there's a banana. No. And she also doesn't do that thing where she's like, have you tried digging a hole through the center of the level, Donkey Kong? Like she doesn't do any of that shit. She's just silent until you see a banana. And then she's like, oh, a banana. And then you get it. And then that's it. And the other thing that she does is really cute is like when you are going to have a nap, the first time you build a hideout, because you build these hideouts as you go, right? And they have a little bed where you can have a nap. And so you lie down there and it's time to have a nap and you get some health back. And just as you're drifting off to sleep, Pauline's like, TK, are you awake? And you can tell her to shut the fuck up. Or you can like go, yeah, I'm awake. What do you want? And then she'll be like, oh, I just realized like, you know, the guys here are really slimy and, you know, I hope you don't slip over, DK. All right, well, have a great sleep. Good night. And that was it, right? And she'll do like a spin on that every single time. And I know it sounds dumb, and it is dumb. Don't get me wrong.
I thought you said when she was describing the guys as slimy, I was like, oh no.
No. You're right. Like, they're literally fighting slime monsters. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So my point is that it's just like a nice little interaction between the two of them, and it's cute and it's nice.
Kid writing, like charming writing.
Yeah, exactly. But look, I just think that look, what do you do with a 3D platformer in the modern era? Okay, I think Astrobot was a great example of like how you can make an incredibly tight platformer with great like traversal challenges and tight level design, leveraging IP brilliantly. It looks incredible. It runs flawlessly. You know, it's like, what a great game, right? And it's like, Nintendo could certainly make another one of those types of games that has, you know, more ideas in it and interesting level design and whatever else. But they really challenge themselves to go, okay, what could we do with the 3D platformer that's never been done before? It's totally different. And the challenge they set for themselves with this was monumental, because it's like, let's just break all the rules associated with 3D platformers. They're all about like very tight, precise level design, where every single thing is placed so carefully, and you can't quite make that jump because you haven't got, you know what I mean? Like all of that stuff. That's all gone here. It's literally just drill a hole through a level and just go wherever you like. And the fact that they figured out how to capture the essence of the joy of a 3D platformer and the challenge inherent in 3D platformers, while also allowing you to destroy entire levels. The way they've solved that problem and what that's led them to create is just utterly brilliant. Like it really is, I love it. I really do.
Big game design brain. That's
the thing. They're going to be studying this in the years to come, in terms of like how they've approached the challenge of level design and how they've evolved the 3D platforming formula. It's not a new template for 3D platformers, don't get me wrong, because your Astrobot game is a distinctly different game from this because of that voxel destruction stuff, Similarly, like, Mario Wonder is a 2D platformer, and that's its own format as well. But there is something new within this, definitely. There is a new quality to what this package is that's never been seen before. And it just has such confidence with the way that it does everything, and it's a Donkey Kong game as well. And it's a whole new spin on Donkey Kong. Like this is Donkey Kong. This is not Donkey Kong 64 2 or whatever, or 3 or whatever. Like this is just its own totally unique thing, rebooting the character, setting up an entirely new trajectory for what he could be in the future. And it's cool to imagine that they could do another 2, 3, or 4 of these style of games and take it further and further each time. I would love that, while also keeping Mario on that more traditional 3D platformer path with everything that entails. That's a really interesting idea. So yeah,
how is it difficulty-wise?
Okay, so it's very easy. The bosses, I would say the overall difficulty is well calibrated for like, younger audiences. For adults just looking to have a nice, relaxing, fun platforming experience. Even the more difficult challenges aren't particularly difficult. I have heard that at the end game there are some trickier challenges, but I'm not there yet, so I couldn't say. I would say one thing that's very disappointing actually is the bosses. Bosses in this game suck. It's a real bummer. And given how interesting the rest of the game is, some of the bosses, you literally just like walk up to them and punch them a few times and then they die.
I mean,
like
if a
that's
gorilla
actually
punched me, I would definitely,
how many gorillas would it versus 100 men, but like, no, that part of it is a bummer. The boss design is a real letdown, unfortunately. Especially in the context of just how innovative the rest of the package is, for sure.
Is it?
Having said that, look, those encounters last for 90 seconds and then it's over, and then you're back to like 20 hours of platforming brilliance, of level destruction and music and creativity and fun. So
how's it run?
Okay, so
I'm glad I asked.
Look, how do you put this? I always view Switch games in the context of their hardware. Okay, if I was running this on a $5,000 PC, I'd be like, this is unacceptable. What the fuck are Nintendo doing? This should have been delayed. This is not good, right? Because there are significant frame drops that occur, more so when you're in docked mode. And when you're accessing certain features, particularly the map or stuff like photo mode or whatever else, like the frame rate can really tank. Also in certain, like, when there's a lot of destruction going on, things are going crazy, frame rate can tank. Now, none of this actually impacts your ability to play the game and have fun. None of it detracts from any of that, for sure. But at the same time, it's also like, it'd be nice if this didn't exist. I would put it this way. It's less disruptive than the frame drops we experienced in Tears of the Kingdom. Because in that game, every time you use the Ultra Hand feature, the frame rate would tank and it would feel shit. And you'd had to use that Ultra Hand feature so often that it would just be bad. Here, you do get frame drops. They are annoying, but they're less frequent. And I would say they're also less annoying. So, yes, that is how I would put that. But I really do forgive the Switch a lot. This is a little handheld we're playing this on, man. Like, this is an incredibly ambitious game. It's got a full voxel destruction model. You can tear levels apart in this game.
That's fun.
And it will remember what you have done so long as you don't leave the level. Like, if you leave the level and come back, it all resets. But while you're there, it will just remember that you have basically excavated 90% of the level if you spend the time to do that, right?
That's cool.
So the Switch powering all this on its little lonesome self, that's the real story. And I said exactly the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom. The story is not, oh, look at how bad this performance is. The story is, holy shit, you can do this on a Switch, even if it is running at a lower frame rate. It's still incredible that the Switch could play Tears of the Kingdom. You know what I mean? I think it's the same sort of story here.
What's the Switch 2 doing? It's best.
What?
What's the Switch 2 doing? It's best.
Oh, yes, no, that's... You're right. It's doing its best. It's doing, and that's the thing. It's doing its best.
A little handheld that could.
No, 100%.
Not good enough. Nintendo is bad. Sorry, guys.
Everyone gives them a pass.
Yeah.
Oh, you pay the Nintendo tax.
That's right. So look, it is pretty crazy to me that like Mario Kart World was $80 and this is $70, by the way. Because like if in a just world. Okay, first of all, both of them should be $70. But if you were to charge $80 for one of them, you would charge $80 for this because it's so much more interesting and new and different and like ambitious than Mario Kart World was, which is like a fun, good game. Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know. So that's why I think that whole pricing of that was like them trying to encourage you to buy the bundle for the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, look, I would say this. If you don't have a Switch, it's a strong statement. It's a strong statement.
Here we go. Clip it.
If you were thinking, oh, I want to buy a Switch at some point, but I'll wait for some games to come along. This is actually one of those games. It really is. Like it's one of those games that's worth shelling out a little bit early to grab your Switch because you want to play it. It actually, you're going to play this and you're going to be like, I'm glad I bought my Switch. This was super fun. I loved it. I'm very happy, right?
Wow.
Obviously, it's not a reason alone to buy a Switch. You know, don't get me wrong. It's just one of those accelerants on the decision-making process, I would say, but a very powerful accelerant. Because if you were really thinking about, I'd like to at some point, this may be at some point because it's a really, really great game that I think you're going to love.